Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse. My allergies start.
Yes. With that weather we had, it's pretty much things are growing and blooming and wind and fire and
Fire. So let's start off with public comment. Please limit your time to 3 minutes per person. There is no public in our room, so is anybody online?
these two will be able to talk during our Lions Ferry time, so.
Okay. Don't see anybody else online. Do you? Okay, let's move into the agenda. Administrative items, approval of minutes. Have you had a chance to read the minutes?
I did,
Okay.
although it was on my device here
Yeah.
and it was 3 words at a time, scroll, 3 words at a time, scroll.
I'm sorry.
I think it took a few hours to read the dang thing, but, yeah, I think I got it.
I would make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Who signed this? Me? Scott, secretary. All right. Monthly budget report and vouchers.
Hey, your monthly budget report is here. There is nothing extraordinary on the budget report. We are 33% through the year on the expense side, on the income side, not quite 33% because we still have not gotten all the revenue for the month of April. We are we did get some tax money. It's not reflected on this report, but we did get a little bit of tax money in March. What did I tell you? It was about 32,000. Tenants are current on rent, so it's all in good shape. On the expense side, there's also nothing unusual. It is all our usual expenses. I will, from the voucher sheet, just mention a couple of things. Blue Mountain Irrigation and Landscape did quite a bit of cleanup here in the industrial park on some of our shrubs. Connors Flooring and Design was the carpet for Rad's new
I was
suite.
gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, cause it was concrete floor.
Okay.
Yeah, concrete
And
floor.
it's in and.
It's in and done and they're moved. Oh yeah, it just happened like that. Jeff Keating, that's the little bit that we contributed to the butterfly garden. We reimbursed them for seed expenses and plants. Mill Creek Mechanical was an old bill from Blue Mountain Station that they didn't send us last year for the walk-ins. And the other big ones are all things that, ongoing projects. Urban Patterns is the craft malt. WBE Technologies is the fiber materials. They are starting to roll in. We don't pay the bill until we have the materials in hand. So that's a first payment to WBE. Zero DB Communications is the fiber design. And then, of course, and quarterlies are on here, and I would entertain any other questions you might have on these vouchers or the expense report. If you've got questions about the bills.
I have one.
Yeah.
The miscellaneous, the 1279, it's in the red part.
On the income side,
On the budget side.
income side.
Yes,
yeah.
income side.
So that means we took in more in miscellaneous than we budgeted. If it's red on the income side, it means we've taken in more.
Yeah, I was wondering what, so,
We went through that last month. Do you remember? Oh, we were reimbursed for sesquicentennial expenses that we
Okay.
spent last year. It took the county a while to pay us back. So that big one in January, wasn't that sesquicentennial? Yeah.
okay, that's what,
And then the other ones were small,
They're just reimbursements from things that we've paid out. but
Yeah.
not Reimbursed.
and
for.
they're not part of a specific grant program. Especially if it's income from private businesses, if we've got somebody sponsoring something or doing something. That's really the only place we have to put it is miscellaneous.
Yeah,
So,
and you probably covered the 17 last month and I went here so much.
That's okay, yeah.
Thank you.
we did because Scott had asked, and so we got it all
Yeah.
together, but of course, I don't think I have it in front of me now, so.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I have on that.
I had one question just on Anderson Perry. Is that the out of Starbuck, Lions Ferry, or is that for something different?
I think it was a combination of two different bills, if I remember correctly. One was bigger than.
It's
the other,
probably Craft Malt, because they're working on the wastewater and the civil engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Starbucks bill yet. I'm pretty sure it's,
No, it's not Starbucks.
no, it's Craft Malt.
Seemed like there was two of them though. Or maybe it was just, what was it? How much was it?
3,380. We can tell you exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's Craft Malt, yeah.
Okay, any other questions? On budget or vouchers? And the vouchers are going around. So do we want to start with the lease?
Yeah, I was
Says-
gonna do the Lions Ferry lease down into the Lions Ferry section.
Okay.
So for this section, we have two leases for renewal this month. One is with Steve Riggin Fly at Bell Farmhouse down the road. And that had a between 3% and 4% rent increase. That one, we're trying to slowly bring it up to market rate because that house was so far below market rate. So rather than do really large increases, we do about 3 or 4% every year. And they understand what we're trying to do, so.
Okay.
They know what that one is, and then the second one is for Red Van Cellars. They have reduced they were renting all 3 bays in industrial building number 1, but they have reduced it now to 2 bays. And they also asked for a 1-year lease, which we typically charge more rent when they're shorter term leases. So that was actually a 6% increase over the last
And they're okay
lease
with
term. He was okay with it. We gave him a choice,
that? Okay.
2 years at 3% or 1 year at 6%, and he chose the 1 year. So
Okay.
I think that the wine industry is still, it's very much been contracting and in flux. So I think he's nervous about extending too far out.
Question on the residential lease. Are we governed by the state laws with that as far as the amount of increase per year?
I don't know. That's a good question, Scott, because I thought of that. Our commercial buildings were not,
Yeah.
but that is a residential rental.
9.88% or whatever this year. It's like.
Is the maximum you can increase it. Oh, for some reason I thought it was 5. Is it different every year?
Well, it must, yeah, it does.
Okay.
But anyway, I just was wondering if we were subject to that or not.
That is a good question. Maybe we should look it up. I would assume we are too, because it's residential, but we can look it up.
Any other leases other than those two?
No.
Okay.
Tracy's got them to pass around for,
They're already-
oh, they're already doing it, okay.
Accessibility law are,
Regarding websites.
okay,
So there's a new state law that requires websites to be ADA accessible. Meaning that with some of the visual impairment has a way to read your
oh,
documents.
okay.
So that is the bigger ports and cities, bigger governments it's due this April to be fixed. Ours is not due until April of 2027. We have 3 websites. So I've reached out we have 2 different companies that manage our websites. And so they're looking into it. The one that could cost us the most would be the port website, because apparently PDFs are one of the items on the websites that have to be made ADA accessible. And our port website is just filled with PDFs of old agendas, minutes, and others. So this is just a heads up for you that I have no idea what this is gonna cost. And so we've got
Can we sunset some of those?
I did see that if you have them archived, it is different, but I don't know, people still need to be able to read them,
Well,
so.
there's a sheet of what has to stay active
Mhm.
from the state.
Yeah,
when we had a website in fire district.
Uh-huh.
And what you had if you archived it, how you made it accessible.
Yeah, but that might be one trick to making the cost of the switchover less. I really like our website. I don't wanna have to redesign it. Even though it's not, we've had it for years, but it's just a really visually pleasing website, so, and it functions.
And how the heck, so if you have a PDF, it has to go to a reader for them, so it ends up on Braille. That what?
I don't know the details. I
Must
don't know
be
the
some
details.
sort of technology,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
that might be simpler and
Or maybe something that reads it out loud to them.
possibly a reader.
Yeah.
Was that a new House bill this year?
No, I think it was last year.
And just, it's
It's just,
coming into effect.
yeah, it's been in discussion lately at several meetings I've been at. They were discussing it at the RTPO because they're having to do it. And so Tracy and it had been on our radar, but we really hadn't done anything about it. So we decided we better pull the trigger and start now because we've got a year.
Yeah,
So just wanted to warn you of that.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Back to what's this?
Oh, yeah.
This one has a bunch of information on it. This one, is that right?
Yes, because I have the rest of it.
Oh, okay.
you would like.
I don't need it. I was just, no.
Yeah, and it just depends on how much stuff is at the
Okay.
top.
All right.
Yeah.
And I was like, there wasn't, I'm like, there wasn't a lot on it.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I signing?
Yeah.
I did
But
see
I-
the name on the lease. Okay, very good. Thank you. I think we had the same question.
I think we did.
Because it says
Sign it. Yeah.
6 of 7.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
11 of 12.
That's what I thought. All right.
Okay, joint meetings with local governments.
I have emailed the county, then the city, and I have had no response yet. So we'll just keep it on here. We'll see if they get back to me.
Okay.
But I have sent them the invitation.
Cool. So comp plan refresher.
Okay, well, there's been discussion a couple of times about the comp plan and about different things that people would like to discuss, so I thought I'd check in with you. This is a commissioner exercise, not our choice. So it's up to you, but if you would like to do a comp plan refresh, the last time it was adopted or amended was to 2021. We definitely know the broadband section needs to be updated because it still says we're gonna explore or something. So I just thought I'd see if you wanted to do it, and if you do, I had a little, kind of a schedule, I thought, a way that we could do it without causing us extra meetings. My idea was to just take a section or two and stretch it out over the next 5 or 6 months. And kind of with an eye toward getting it completed before we do budget season. So if there was anything else we wanted to change in the capital facilities plan or something, we would have discussed it beforehand and would be ready. I went through it today and, some of the sections are just so basic. There's really not a lot it's almost more informational, like the overview and the asset inventory. We could easily go through those together in one meeting, easily. And then so I was thinking of that for May, and then in June, I was thinking we could go over the intent section and then do the recreation section because we'll be at the marina.
Cool.
So I thought that might be a good,
Yeah.
even though it's out of order, just go ahead and do recreation at that one. And then in July, we could do economic development and real estate, and those portions, the intent, the recreation, all the ones that I'm talking about from here on out, they're all part of the strategic plan portion of the comp plan. That's the part that needs the most discussion. The asset inventory is it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then in August, we could do transportation and management. In September, we could review. I could make sure any changes we wanted were made and a document was given to you for review. And then we could hold a public hearing either at that meeting or in October. So that was just my idea, but it's completely up to you whether or not you want to do this.
I think we should. I think there's obviously some sections that need update, and while we're doing it, let's just one meeting at a time, like you have scheduled there.
What do you
Up to
think?
you guys.
I think, yeah, after 5 years, there's probably a lot that we probably should think about, and maybe even just some newer ideas and
Mhm.
things that are coming up that should probably be talked about?
And that's the one that really gives you an opportunity to do so, you know, it's outside of a meet, or not outside of a meeting, but it's its own.
Oh.
Scheduled time for you to be able to brainstorm and talk and, yeah.
Is there a time, Jenny, that you would have had, over the past 20 years? That, you know, a certain period of time, every 5 years, or does it, that you have seen, or I know it's not a
Every-
requirement.
Like every 7 years was like, don't let it go past 7, has been kind of the rule that I've heard. Some ports do it every year, they'll just do like a very minor update. Some ports hire consultants. So no, it is one of the most vague RCWs that governs ports. It is so vague.
When you say a minor update, that's something that you would, if you were gonna change the comprehensive plan, you could make that and have a public hearing on it. And
Yes.
go through the whole thing still, but you can make a minor change in it and.
Anytime you change it, you have to have a public
Right.
hearing. But you could say, we need to work on the transportation section. And so, for example, I think that I need to do some research, but I think that there's a new, I don't know if I guess it's a requirement that if you move freight, that you have to have a section in your comp plan about moving freight, which we do. So that's something we don't have. None of the ports have had it. So if that would be, and I don't know if you call that a minor update, but that would be an example of something that where you might have gone through the whole comp plan the year before and you don't need to go through the rest of it, but you decide you need to work on that section. And you can do it that way. You don't have to do the whole thing. But since there's newer commissioner, that was one of the reasons I thought we should go through every section.
The railroad is already a part of that. Is
Correct,
that
yeah,
correct?
yep,
Okay.
yeah, we just don't have a freight discussion in much depth, which the last time I was at a WPPA meeting and they discussed that part, they were not confident yet that they knew what the state was looking for, they just knew that they were going to have a requirement.
Freight
So-
covers. all-
Yes, it does. So I would need to talk to my WPPA friends and find out what is happening in that arena before we tackle that section. But that would be August if we did my schedule, be transportation and management. And the WPPA does have a new transportation, director of transportation planning. So there will be a new employee that could help us understand what the
What the-
expectations are. Yeah.
It could cover everything from what goes in and out of the grocery stores to UPS to,
Well, but I think it just has to do with what the trains move.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's just what our
Not-
train,
Not on the highway.
no,
Oh.
just our train,
Oh.
what our train is moving,
Oh.
because we own a railroad track.
Okay,
And I think if you're a port that doesn't own a railroad track, you don't have to do it.
Okay.
So,
Johnny, your thoughts?
yeah, what do you think, Johnny? Mr. Commissioner Watts?
Well, I think, regardless of what, you should be looking at your policies and procedures and plans and comp plans, and does it still fit the intent, the mission, where we want to go, in certain integrals. I'm up for, whatever the commissioners want to take another look at it. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, because like you said, there's some things that the broadband, right? Does it capture that? Are we working out of scope of that according to our plan? And in the intent of the process, I think we should probably make sure that if there are things that come up that we find out after the fact, such as freight and those type of things, once we get some more information, to be able to say, yes, and I agree, you take a look at, or anytime something like that comes up and says, hey, we missed this at whatever interval, we should be able to say, hey, we just want to focus on this so that it captures what the intent or what the law or whatever it is that we're working on. So, if it's been since 21, that would have been prior to my seat in this as well.
Yeah, we did those workshops, but then we didn't make any changes, we didn't go back and open it up, so.
We did all the workshops and we did those, and
And we
pretty
still have that
comprehensive
information.
review
Mhm.
of that, so,
Right, we still have that information, so that's not a waste.
okay.
Okay, sound good?
Yeah,
All right, well, we will start it then.
One question on that.
Okay.
One, so we would have our regular meeting and that stuffed into an agenda item, or would that be a separate thing? A workshop within it,
I was just thinking we'd do it during the meeting.
okay?
I don't wanna, I was trying to avoid scheduling extra meetings. We could do it as a workshop before the meeting, if you would rather do it as a workshop before it's in the general meeting.
It's not a rather for me, I'm just
Yeah,
trying to figure, cause I look at this and say, man, these. You know, we start and it all of a sudden we're turning into, an hour and a half meeting into 4 hour meeting on if it, so I think that's fine, just make sure that we know, one thing that'll help is if we know what the next section that we're taking a look at, right?
oh yes, and I will send it to you.
That way we
in
have
Friday
a thought
packet.
process and we have some ideas
And
prior
you
to
will have already
going
read
in
it,
cold.
yeah.
And then trying to digest that, so I think that will help with,
Okay.
make it efficient, way to do it.
And I think if we do the easier sections first, we can see how it goes, and if we need to add a little more time to our meeting
And they're also,
later.
there also may be, say, most of it can be dealt with in a regular meeting. If we come to a spot where we say, hey, this section is gonna take a workshop or something like that, we can be flexible as that as well.
Absolutely, yes.
That sound okay?
It sounds perfect, yeah. I really do think some of it will go very quickly and others will be
It's
more in
pretty,
depth, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think every time I read it, I feel, I think it's purposefully not too long. It's purposefully
Yeah.
tries to be succinct and also kind of broad, you don't wanna back yourself into a corner. You can't do something, so I've felt pretty good about it, so.
Opportunity arises that's not in it.
Yeah. Well, and we do revisit our capital facilities plan every year, which we have to do, and that really is
Where
the
we
most
stand.
important part where you're telling the public how you're gonna spend their money.
Right.
So that's, yeah, okay, good. Well, thank you. Thank
Okay,
you for hanging in there on Zoom, my Marina friends.
skip down to Marina,
Sure, we can.
and in our updated port assets, are you two okay with that? Yes. Since we have,
Yeah, you're running the show.
okay, let's do it.
Okay, so, we have two guests tonight. You all know Joanne very well, our tried and true trooper out there at the marina. And then we also have Corey Baker, and he is with, the soon-to-be Starbuck Washington KOA LLC. And he and Joanne have been working on a deal for the marina, business. And so, we have, I'll let him and Joanne talk a little bit, but we have, drafted a lease. Kim has reviewed it and made a few suggestions. Corey was fine with those changes, and so we have an actual lease that we're ready to have the commissioners sign tonight. Corey will sign it probably tomorrow. I think he's gonna actually be in, I don't know where he is right now, but he'll be at the marina tomorrow, be in Dayton tomorrow. And, it would take effect on May 1st. So Joanne, you wanna talk a little bit about your, process first, and then maybe we can hear from Corey about his plans? Go ahead, Joanne.
I suppose, we are just getting everything stocked and ready to turn it over to Corey. Jenny, you'll be glad to know we have one pothole left to fill.
You got him done? Yay, good
Yep.
girl.
So the guys right now are busy working on, rebuilding the dog park, and they've got a list of projects that they've been going through, and I told them all, I said, when by the end of this month, when I walk away, I want this park to be something that shows my pride for the last 10 years. And they're all hitting the ground running every day, trying to get
Cool.
things done. So to get it turned over and what we want it to look like for Corey.
Cool.
And you're gonna be available to Corey, right?
Mhm.
Extended
yeah.
period, yeah.
Yeah.
What is your plan for the transition?
I've moved my motorhome down to Tri-Cities where my kids are. And I can come back and forth and stay out here and help train Corey and we've been doing training with Brian and Jen, and the one couple we have on board right now have worked at KOAs, and they've got a lot of KOA experience. So, which is really nice. We've just been able to kind of throw her to the wolves, so to speak, and she just runs. They both just run with it. So,
Okay.
Corey, so just so you know, we have three commissioners here. We have, the chairperson is Mike Spring. He's been a commissioner for a couple of years. And then we've got Scott Hudson. He's the secretary and he's a newer commissioner. He started in January. And then we have Commissioner Johnny Watts, and he's been here 4 years, probably this is his fifth, I would say, yeah, working on his fifth. So they're all very familiar with the marina and are very supportive of everything we've done out there. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Corey?
Nice to meet you all. My name's Corey Baker. I'm Canadian. The company that will be owning the Starbuck Ferry LLC is run out of Sheridan, Wyoming. And I came down to the United States in the fall of 2024 to start investing into real estate. I'm an avid hunter, fisherman, crabber. I have been in the RV space, like vacationing for a long time. Like I've been to over half the United States on vacations myself. And so I've always had a goal that I would like to own an RV park. And so when I came across this park and then meeting with Joanne, it just seemed like the perfect fit. And especially with the marina and all of the fishing and with my fishing background, this was something that I wanted to take on. And so my experience within the construction trade for 23 years spans a lot of infrastructure projects. So I have built hydroelectric dams, water reservoirs, water treatment plants, large bridges. The largest bridge that I built was a $3.5 billion bridge in Vancouver, Canada. A lot of oil and gas projects, a lot of large tilt-up warehouses for like Amazon and Walmart. And so I am bringing that experience with me. Like I've run these two businesses for 13 years, had 28 employees. So it's not like I don't have business experience. This will be my first RV park that I've owned, but I have spent time at the park already, and Joanne has left it in good hands. So she's meaning that it's in good condition. I was actually quite surprised how good it looked, especially when I was there and it was early in the season. And so, yeah, I'm just very excited to come on. I love the region, and we have a high desert area in British Columbia, Canada as well. And a large part of my family has been there since the 1800s. So in a way, it kind of feels like home.
Cool.
Well, welcome.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Yes, to both.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, and Corey told me he is, I don't know how you say it, Native Canadian?
Yeah, so in Canada, we're called First Nations. So it's the Canadian version of Native American.
And that gives him different visa privileges for the United States.
Yeah.
So he can come and go a little more freely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that allows me to come down to the United States and work, and allows me to get a green card. So when I go to the border, I give them my passport and I give them my tribal ID. In Canada, we call it an Indian status card. So I give it to them, and then when they ask me where I'm going, I said, well, I'm going to go down to the property that I'm buying. And then they say, okay, how long are you going to be there? And then that's it.
Excellent.
Well, good introduction, Corey, because I had a list of questions and I think you went order by order and answered them for me for the most part. The only other question I had probably is, so you're from Canada, still have a place in Canada. Are you going to be transient, like how often are you gonna be down here? Gonna manage it full time?
I'm gonna be down there quite often. In our team, I have an American that is our asset manager. She is from Denver, so she will also be going to the park as well. She currently is a small equity partner in one RV park in Texas. And so I am going to be down there quite a bit. Like I was just down there for 5 days, and when I arrive there in the early hours tomorrow, like I'll be getting there about 10 in the morning. I'm going to stay until Wednesday. And so when I come down there, I'm going to be meeting Jenny tomorrow. I'm also going to be meeting Paul from the Small Business Development Council. He has a meeting in Dayton with one of the lenders who he helped get funding for one of the businesses in Dayton. And so after that, they're just going to quickly meet me in Dayton to introduce me, because we're going to be working on getting a funding package together with all of our projections and all of the models to present to the lenders locally to see if they can give us some financing.
Excellent.
Good. I had one more question, but it just.
One of the couples that Joanne mentioned, Jen and Brian, they are KOA work campers that were here last year. And so I think
Yeah.
they're going to act as managers for,
Yeah.
which
Okay,
is,
so-
which is what Wally and Joanne did for 7Ks when they had the lease. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And Corey,
and so,
Corey can attest to the fact that I pounded it into their
yes,
brains that that place needs somebody on site.
Yeah.
It's not like an
Yes.
RV park that you shut the gate in September and go on vacation. It is people are coming to the marina year round. So, yeah, he understands.
yeah,
Go ahead, Corey, sorry.
sorry, in regards to what she just mentioned, I'm a high achiever. So the idea of leaving that business unoperating or unmanned, that's just something so foreign to me. I'm a very hands-on businessman. I, you know, I have, I always set very high goals for the business. And so the idea that, to leave that business unoperating while it's open, that would never, ever happen with me. So you don't ever have to worry about that. If I could give you guys an idea of how we're going to increase revenue, are you okay with that?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. So obviously, when we do that renovation with the 10 pull-through sites, that will increase the revenue. We also have very slowly, because I noticed Jenny mentioned that earlier with another tenant about raising rents. The marina fees are lower than other ones in the area. So we are going to show the customers in the local population what we are going to do and how we're going to provide and increase the services. And then we'll just slowly, increase some of the mortgage fees, but very minimally. Then we have plans, and Joanne and the team are already implementing this to open the restaurant for more hours and more days. We're going to be implementing a happy hour. We're going to be doing some more breakfasts. And then we are going to be really promoting the winter activities in regards to the hunting for like the ducks in December and January, and the hunting into November. And so that's how we're going to increase it. I've already had discussions with some of the fishing guides that have come there. When I was there a week ago, I went up to them and just introduced myself and told them what our plans were, and they were very happy to hear that. And so we're just going to be doing things like that, promoting everything, and also doing a lot more on social media to promote the park and the marina.
Excellent, sounds great.
Are we gonna have an opportunity to meet you when we come out there for our meeting?
When you go there in June, yes, I will be there.
Excellent.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know if Jenny told you, I would have been there with you in person today. And what happened is I've been in the United States for about 6 months. And so my vehicle, in the last year, I've driven back and forth from Vancouver, Canada to Dallas, Texas 4 times this year. And then with coming down to your guys' park a couple of times, I was like, okay, I better get my vehicle serviced. I think my brakes are time, to get done. And so they were supposed to work on my vehicle yesterday. And then in the evening, I was going to start driving because it's only about a 5.5 hour drive to get to the park. And they called me at 3:30 in the afternoon and told me they hadn't even started on my vehicle.
Been there.
So,
Yeah.
and so it's done now. So as soon as I'm done with this meeting, I'm going to go pick it up. Then I'm going to come back and hook up my trailer, and then I'm going to start heading to the park.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Thanks, Corey.
So
Thank you.
one other thing that's unrelated to us, but I was just curious,
Yeah.
you had mentioned interest in Boyer. Has anything become of that in Boyer Park?
Well, when I put the offer in, so I don't know if your commissioners are aware, our offer here involves some seller financing. And the contract states that we can renegotiate to restructure. And me and Joanne have already done that. So what we're going to do is on this park, we're going to pay off her existing debt, which is about $550,000. And then I'm going to give her $500,000 as a down payment. And then the balance of the $1,300,000 will be seller financed, and that's the deal. Then we have the $200,000 for the capital expenditure for the renovation expansion that starts in October. Now we will pay Joanne out in 5 years. Now, in regards to Boyer, they were happy with a similar structure, but they wanted us to have them paid out within 2 years. Now, when we pay them out, we would refinance. And there's no way to increase the revenue in 2 years and then refinance with a bank that fast. So I had to turn down the offer, even though I was very interested in the park.
Okay, I was just curious.
Now, the
Boyer's very
broker,
similar to ours.
sorry, what was that?
I was just telling them that Boyer is operated very similarly to our marina.
Yeah, and so what I was going to say is the broker did mention to me if the offer they did accept, if it falls apart, they asked me if I would be interested. And I said yes, since it's so close to Starbucks.
All right, well, thank you.
Any questions of us, Corey?
Only that, like, okay, I don't mean to get too personal, but how long is your guys' term as commissioners?
6 years each. So
Okay.
Scott has 6 more. You have 2 more?
A
2,
year and a half.
Year and a half, and I have
4, 3.5, yeah,
3.5.
they're
Okay.
staggered.
So the only reason why I'm asking is I'm just wondering, when we go to, after we finish this renovation in the fall, and then when we go to the next one in a couple of years to do the marina that Jenny has already talked to me about, I was just wanting to know how that would work with who I'd be dealing with. With the commissioners.
Probably the same group.
Okay.
In 2 years.
2 years,
Yeah,
yeah,
mostly.
Okay.
Depends on what
Johnny does.
Johnny does.
Yeah, unless they kick
And-
me out the year before. You're stuck with me.
Do any of you go down to that area or just only in June, or do you guys live nearby? Like, how does that?
We all live pretty dang close, within
Oh, yeah.
30 miles.
Within 30 miles, yeah.
Yeah, within 30
Okay.
minutes, we're usually there or can get there. Once upon a time, man, I grew up there when I was a kid. I went there all the time. So it's part of history for me. It was put in at the same time I was born. So spent a lot of time with family there over the years. Haven't been there as much, but it's always a fun place for me to go into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to give you a little information about the manager. Brian and his wife, they were with Joanne last year and they've come back. When I was there, I spent a lot of time with them, reassuring them that I have no plans to come in and just, get rid of them and replace them. Because to me, that doesn't make sense. Keep the people there who have the knowledge. And just from spending time with them, I see a good future because they have a lot of great ideas about what they would like to do. And it was a lot of their ideas I was already thinking about. One other option that we're looking at, we only have to look at in regards to insurance about that, is we're considering getting some jet skis to rent out to the public. And yeah, we're just very, very excited. Like that whole area, like I went to Palouse Falls and everything, checked that out. So it's just a really cool thing. I drove up to one of the dams there, and yeah, it's just a very, very cool area.
Yeah, we think so too.
Yeah, we do.
Well, and that, that park right across the river from you has one of the best swimming beaches on the river.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
Lions Ferry Park state park is a
Yeah.
great swimming beach. Yeah.
We were always there growing
Yep.
up.
And is this still closed?
No, it's
It's open?
functioning, yep, back to a state park, so it's in good shape, yeah. All right, well, thank you both, and Joanne, can't thank you enough
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
everything you've
exactly.
done.
For sure, I want to shout out Joanne. Thank you. Man, it's kind of a staple in this area is Lions Ferry Marina, and keeping that thing alive and actually putting some pulse into it. And the work that you've done, I guarantee you that on behalf of the community, we appreciate that to keeping it there.
The improvements they've
Yeah,
made.
yeah.
Think about it, the cabins, the laundromat, the Conestoga wagons, all of that was,
And through her hardships.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Pretty amazing.
So
Yeah,
if you wanna come be there at the meeting in June, of course, you're welcome.
You may see me out here on and off. I'm not gonna be a stranger.
Yeah.
I'm only
Oh,
gonna
no,
be
you-
an hour away, so.
Probably on a jet ski.
Yeah.
If I end up with a jet ski, I'm gonna be followed by a lot of grandkids, I can tell you.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna pass
Okay.
this down for you to sign.
The only question I have on the lease is I saw it said only beer and wine.
I think that is a Corps of
Or
Engineers.
engineers?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think they allow anything, but I don't know. We could always ask, but my memory serves, that comes straight from their lease.
I was just thinking of some of the seltzers and stuff in cans.
Yeah.
That come.
Yeah,
Oh.
they do sell that, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seltzers are classified as a wine, so we can,
Okay.
we do carry those.
Cause I'm sure they're really popular.
Just no tequila or whiskey.
I
I
know.
just had two quick questions. One was about the restaurant equipment, it being as part of this lease, but we don't own that, right? But it's part of this lease.
Actually, we have an inventory, and Joanne and I have gone through it and double checked, and we do own it.
We do. own it.
This is a list of things we own that the concessionaires use. So, it probably wasn't included in your lease.
I
I
saw
don't think it was included, was it?
I saw the reference to it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah. So,
You mean the list?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I saw the list,
Yeah.
but there was a reference.
yeah, we have a utility trailer, a welder, a chainsaw, the kitchen fryer, the stainless steel equipment table, the cold sandwich table, the beer cooler, it's a built-in. We did that for Jim and Angela. The freezer out back, we bought that when the other freezer went out. That was Jim and Angela's era, I think. Was it, or was it you, Joanne? I can't
That was
remember.
Jim and Angela. Mhm.
Miscellaneous bowls, plates and cups, the tables and chairs, a drill press, a pipe bender. There's a marina workboat that we own, a little barge. A charbroiler that's not in use, but we do own it. We own the grill and the hood, and we own the fuel storage tanks and the fuel pumps.
Okay.
So we do own those, Scott. Yeah.
And then the only other question I had was on the insurance. I know there's fuel out there. Is
Mhm.
there a specific requirement for insurance for either above ground tank insurance,
On the port's insurance, because we insure the structures, the Endurus, the company that we insure with, asks us if there are fuel tanks, and we check the box yes, and we check that they are above ground. But I'm not aware that there's anything different about our insurance because of them.
Okay.
But they are on the list and they are check marked, yeah. And Joanne, and then the concessionaire carries the liability insurance, so I don't know if she knows anything about. Is there anything different for the fuel, Joanne?
The only difference I know of, and I think it's an Army Corps of Engineer requirement, that everything be above ground. It's always been above ground on my insurance, so I don't know what it would be if it was below ground.
well, it's a whole different story too,
Yeah.
but I just was wondering if it was specifically for that, because it can be a huge issue, so I didn't know if the port was, I mean, you look at Walla, but that was below ground.
Loves the fact that they're above the
Yeah,
ground.
oh, yeah,
Mhm.
Both, not only the tanks, but the pipe that goes from the tanks to the gas pump is above the ground, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Especially with waterways.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. So nothing specific needed, we think we're good that way, yes,
Yeah, I think, no,
One
I think.
other, one other way we're gonna do the increase for revenue is there's 2 fuel tanks on site and one is currently empty, and so we are gonna get that cleaned. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna transition that to diesel, because Joanne and her team have said that a lot of the RVers ask if there's diesel, just because it's isolated, there's no gas station, close by. And so what we're gonna do is we are going to, there's 2 pumps on the property, one near the water and then one up closer towards the building. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna convert both of those pumps to have one pump for premium and one pump for diesel. And so then we can sell diesel to the customers of the RV park and also to any of the farmers in the local area.
And the boaters of the big boats.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna say some boats are diesel, they are the big ones for sure. Thank you very much, appreciate both of you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow, Corey.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
You guys can stay on the meeting if you want, but you don't have to.
Okay, all right, thank you guys. Nice meeting you.
I'm gonna
Nice to
run.
meet
I
you.
have a grandson up here I need to feed, so thank you.
Okay.
And it's nice being,
thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. All right, back up to Rock Hill Industrial Park.
Okay, we are continuing clean out of Ace Automotive. We are probably gonna have to replace the carpet in the offices. Have to decide whether to put carpet back or not. But, and then, most of the vehicles we only have one vehicle that is not accounted for. So they've all been identified, and Tracy has done a fabulous job, and with Shane's help, we're getting rid of some tires. The freeway, and then we have to deal with the stack that's there that we may have to pay for. But, so it's gonna be a little bit more time, but we're working on it. I mentioned before that Dustin did some shrub trimming. I mentioned the rad carpet that is in. We did promise to put parking bumpers out in front of that co-working building. It does not have bumpers. And as we have experienced here in the front of this this building, when you have student drivers, it's usually a very good thing to have a barrier
Yeah.
between them and the building.
Bill.
So
Yeah.
we will put in some bumpers there. So far, they are thrilled with their new space. They're very happy. Yeah, we've had more that our flower pots get knocked over all the time.
Maybe some eco block
Yeah.
bumpers.
Yeah.
It's very jarring when you hear one of those go down.
Yeah.
They say they work, the space is
Ye-
working for
Yes,
them.
they're happy. Yeah, it's so much more space and it's very nice. Yeah, Tracy went and saw them and she said they were happy. So it's good. It all worked out. It all worked out well. And so I have started discussion with an architect about getting the room made bigger.
Oh,
So
excellent.
we will get started on that.
My questions.
Yep, we'll start on that later this month. Yep. Yep, we've got one. I do need to do, after the last audit, they mentioned having an on-call contract for things like architecture services or the civil engineering and the surveying, which I've not done in the past. It's never been a problem, but this last one, they said, you really need to have on-call contracts. So I put an RFP in the paper, request for statements of qualifications for architects, engineers, and surveyors. And those are due, later this month. Or early May, I can't remember now, May 1st maybe, and then I will review those and I'll have recommendations at the next meeting. So, and those can be 3-year contracts, so then we can do things like pay the architect to work on a small project without, because it's not part of a bigger project that you're putting out for bid. It allows you to do those smaller
More like
projects.
a small works roster.
Kind of, but it's an on-call, it's for on-call services, so
Okay.
I'll have one of those or have some recommendations at the next meeting. That's it for Rock Hill that I can think of. Can you think of anything, Tracy, that I forgot? Shane? No, I covered it. And then Lions Ferry to finish up there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. No, it's okay. So the RV pull-through project, you heard Corey mention that they are clearly aware they're gonna put in $200,000 match for that. And you did see in the lease where I'm raising their rent after that project is completed based on the investment made. The Corps is going to do the cultural resource study, and the RCO and CURB were thrilled to just let the Corps do it. I am waiting on a cost estimate from them, and before they can start the work. So I'm expecting that within the next week or so. Then they will start the work. This will not slow us down. We are still on target to be able to construct in October.
Cool.
So still in good shape there. And I did, I forgot to put this in the packets. I'm so sorry that I did it, forgot I did it last time, but this project list, I do have those things on here. Each of these things I'm discussing, I have it there and in writing where the status is of each project. Okay, I guess that's it for Lions Ferry then.
Okay.
I'm excited. We're getting the
Yeah.
transition done.
I'm excited for Joanne.
Yes.
Blue Mountain Station.
Okay, not much to report here. We did submit a congressional directed spending request for the malt project, and Baumgartner's office did not select our project. So I told them this was my third and final try, so I'm done with that. I don't know if Cantwell or Murray's, if it will go through either of theirs. I just don't think it will. I just don't think it's a project they like. I think they want it to be like a community project, like a new community center or a wastewater treatment plant or something like that, that's more community based, so. We are working on a sales tax deferral for the project. Both the port and Phil can apply. You're eligible for up to $400,000 in sales tax deferral. The Department of Revenue, representative has been great to work with, and they actually do a site visit, so they will be coming here on the 24th of April to discuss the project with Phil and I. And go through the numbers and see what really is eligible for the deferral. So what that means is the sales tax would be deferred until, if the business stays, you have to meet a threshold. If the business operates for, I can't remember if it's 5 or 7 years, then the sales tax goes away and you don't ever have to pay it. But if they were to go out of business in that 5 or 7 years, they would have to pay that back, sales tax. So it's kind of a deferral and then turns into a waiver. Thank you. Turns into a waiver after a certain period of time.
Okay.
And Phil is still working with his financing company, and he feels very positive about it. So and the construction documents are being prepared right now. So everything appears to still be on target. So it's going good. Yeah.
Railroad.
Okay. So we need to try to pick a date for the tour. The railroad company wants to do it on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I did talk to Commissioner Watts about it a little bit, and he said he can take leave to do it. We just have to find the right day. So let's look at our calendars, and see what you guys would like to do. I think we were aiming for early May. So we've got 4th, 5th, 6th. then the next week would be 11th, 12th, and 13th, but the 13th is a Port Commission day. But this will be during the day, probably about 4 hours, I would guess. So what do you think?
I'm retired, so I am all those days.
Are you? Okay,
Sorry to rub
just
it in.
because you're retired, just because you're retired does not mean you're available.
Well, I'm looking, I am.
Okay,
You have an EDSC meeting on it.
A bit.
we do, yeah.
At noon.
4th or 6th, either one's fine with me.
Okay,
I have something I gotta go do on those. I'm looking at my work
okay,
calendar right now.
okay.
Monday, the 11th, I am good,
Are you?
yes.
Okay. Should we try that, you guys?
I'm good, I'm good.
Okay, mark your calendar out.
Okay,
And then if for some reason the railroad can't do it, we can cancel, but for now, let's mark it out.
yep,
Okay,
so Monday, what time?
I don't know yet.
And where?
Well,
Let's know what time, where, and possible duration, you know.
yeah, I think it'll be about 4 hours.
Okay.
So, but I will find out where they want to start. I'm assuming we'll start here and go that direction, but I don't know. I don't really know.
Might start Mobile.
Might start Wall and come this way. We'll have to
Right.
figure out how to get back to our cars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna have 2 vehicles. It's gonna be high rail. And so, and they'll have a maintenance person driving each vehicle that can talk to whoever is in the vehicle. And we will advertise it as a public meeting, but the public is not invited to the tour. But advertise it as that you're meeting, yeah, okay. So I will get in touch with the railroad tomorrow
Yep.
and ask them what we can do that
Okay.
day and get back to you right away. Right now, I'm just gonna mark my whole day out.
Yep.
Great,
May 11th, that works good for me.
great,
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
your guys' flexibility on that.
Yeah.
thank you, appreciate it. It'll be fun.
Well, be educational for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. And we did, I didn't put this on the agenda, but I did wanna say that we do have damage, flood damage at the state park. Which is typical, happens every time we have one of these floods. So I've spoken with, Stuart called me and said, your railroad is flooded, or, you know. So I let him get over that, and then I called them back a couple days later. And, talked to Dan Garrett, who does the railroad repair, and he told me what he thought it would take, about a day's work, about 60 tons of rock, about whatever, and so I asked him how much the rock would cost, and he said probably about $1,500, and so I offered to pay for that, to contribute $1,500 towards the repair of the flood if they would do the work and do the rest, and they thought that was great. So
Cool.
I feel like that lets us
I don't
off.
know where they're buying rock, that's for
Yeah.
60 tons of rock.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's cheap.
Right?
Yeah, well, he probably has some
Yes.
smoke. I mean, when you
Yeah.
own a railroad, you probably have a special rock deal, I would guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's what they said. So, I thought that was a good faith effort, even though, you know, we're not under the new lease scenario. At least it will show them my
We're
idea
trying.
for what it could look like going forward, is exactly that kind of thing, where we would pay for some of the supplies and they can do the work, and it just helps offset their costs a little bit. So
Excellent.
they were thrilled with it, so. And then the lease negotiation, I did speak with Stuart after our last meeting, and they're open to our idea of the pledging dollars towards the railroad, kind of like we do the marina every year. Exactly what I'm talking about, to pay for supplies, for maintenance, or whatever the project may be. I told him that the liability for being responsible for a derailment is just outside of our ability to manage, but part of this money that we're pledging could be towards the insurance that they pay for derailments. They seem to be okay with it. And I haven't talked to you about this yet, so we'll have to decide how to do it, but they did say, why don't we go ahead and propose a lease to them? So,
Excellent.
we're making progress.
Good.
Based on the things we've discussed. So I don't know if you want to work on that with me, Kim. We had talked about having Seth do it, but I thought, I didn't know, I wanted to ask you first.
Do you have a time frame?
For when you want to make that proposal available?
I do not have a time frame.
Okay, maybe we can talk about
Okay. I mean, soon, but you know, not next week.
there you go.
So I thought that was really good news.
Yeah,
It's good
It's
news.
progress, yeah.
Thank you for working on
Yeah.
that.
all
So
right.
we will do that and then that'll give us our spot to really start negotiating. Yeah, and I didn't know if you wanted me to follow up with some of the people that have expressed interest in a tourism train now, or if you want to wait till the lease is in place. You know, there's a gentleman from Waitsburg that said he'd help, so I thought at some point we should, tag them and say, okay, it's time to start working on this, but I didn't know if we should do it now or wait till the lease is more ready.
Is it gonna impact the lease?
I don't know if it would impact it, but possibly would inform it. In other words, Paul said they'd be willing to maybe pull a train. You know, if they were the ones who would pull the tourism train,
The call.
they'd have to be paid to pull the car, but that might be a good thing, because they're the ones who operate the line and,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just think that it might inform the,
I
Please
would like to
language.
see us reach out to those
Okay.
that had contacted us
Okay.
earlier.
I agree.
And that way we might be more informed when we're in the final throes of the lease.
probably take them time to figure it out
Yeah.
too, but they did offer. so.
Well, they may need to talk to the operator to figure out.
Yeah, and they
They.
know, yeah, they know him. They've already
Oh.
talked, so, yeah, not recently, but they talked
Okay.
last year, so.
It does check the box of, there's been lots of conversation, of what's the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
What, and it's always been, well, we don't know, well, if we have someone that's looking at an opportunity, it
Interested.
behooves us to at least, venture that.
Okay.
I think there'll probably be more.
Mhm.
All right,
All right. Anything else on railroad from the two of you? Jenny?
nope.
All right. Let's go to broadband.
We are fielding questions from residents of Starbucks because we sent our letter out to them. So the phone's been ringing off the hook in a good way. And we are going to put the project out for bid on April 16th, which is a week from tomorrow. We'll be in the paper and hit the website, and bids will be due May, right before our next meeting, May 11th, so that we can, review the bids and have a recommendation for you at the May 13th meeting, because we gotta move on this project. So we'll have a recommendation at the next meeting on a contractor. So it's going good. Let's see, that was all I had written down on that one, yeah.
So, community economic development. Staff reports.
Let's see, what else is there to say? I told you about the on-call architecture and engineer. Statement of qualifications due May 1st, so I would also have that recommendation at the next meeting. Oh, I did an accessibility walkabout, last 2 weeks ago. That was very interesting. So a group from Walla Walla that, advocates for people with disabilities. And there was a county commissioner was there, and Ryan from the city, and there were all kinds of people on it, and we walked from Dayton Mercantile downtown Dayton. It was very eye-opening with some people in wheelchairs and some people that are visually impaired. And I do have to say that there were several spots that I would have thought were fine for a wheelchair, but they were not fine. Especially some of the old curb cuts from the 70s, they just don't work. So it was eye-opening for all of us to observe that and see what the people had to do to navigate around them. Puddles, gravel, all these different things. And Ryan is very on top of it and knows the changes that need to be made. Of course, the bridge over the Touchy River is the absolute worst, but that's part of their Main Street plan. So it was just a positive thing I thought I would report on. And then, I forgot to talk about this when I talked about the Mount Station. I had a site visit with the pasta company. They came here and looked at building number 2, so it was great. So I feel really good about it. we are going to put the request for quotes out to put in the HVAC in the building and the food grade wall covering at the end of April. And in fact, I'm trying to time it so I would also have a recommendation for you at the May meeting for that contractor and go ahead and get that work done. And, then I told Barry, the owner, I said, okay, we're gonna get this work done, and then it's time to sign in blood. You know, it's
Yeah.
time to say, we are moving here. But it was a very positive visit. Chain was part of it, and they love the building. They've lived in rural communities before. They understand what it would mean to move to a place like Dayton from Portland.
I'm gonna say they're Portland.
Yeah, so very positive. So keep your fingers crossed, guys.
Yeah,
What was you had said before, what was the jobs you think that would
About
create?
14.
14.
Yeah.
wow.
That's-
They wanna grow. They'd grow into it,
Yeah,
but
sure,
yeah,
but that's-
14.
Still.
Yep, and they want to, move into the gluten-free pasta world. And so that building is perfect because it's divided into two spaces, and so the 1,500 square foot space could be the gluten-free because it has to be kept separate from the,
Totally.
yeah, so it's a really good fit, so. It was very positive.
Very good.
Can't believe I forgot to report that under the station. Yeah.
Me either. Good news.
Not that I have anything on my mind.
You talked about it at the EDC.
I did,
Yeah.
yes, I did. I didn't have it in front of me tonight. Project River Spark, the power project out by the river they are working on their transmission corridor approval and waiting to find out if they win the RFP for doing the project. So it's still moving in the right direction. And I think I did the KOA. Yep, I think that is all I have. And I will let Shane talk.
Well, we'll just stay on this. For me, project, Clean Slate is Dayton Laundry and the Dayton Quilt Shop. They did have a little bit of a setback. I was actually down there yesterday. And it's absolutely amazing in there, but they're getting their occupancy inspection tomorrow.
Oh,
And so if everything goes according to Hoyle, they'll be able to open probably by Monday.
oh, wow.
Oh,
So-
so their holdup is not as bad as we thought, maybe? Okay.
The machines, it's hard to explain it, but 3 of the machines were like banging each other. And so it created a problem. And so they have a tech here from Spokane. And it's amazing, the hydraulics on those machines. He's got the plate off and watching those hydraulics move and make the machine move. And so,
Now they all dance in the same rhythm.
and all in the same rhythm. So it's pretty exciting for them. They actually had family here and they were out there ironing quilt squares and quilt fabric. So they are really trying to get both businesses open. So they are gonna do ribbon cutting on Saturday of All Wheels. So we will make sure you get invited to that.
But they'll be open before that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
Yep.
Cause I know on Facebook, everybody's asking.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it.
Project Palette is another downtown building. We have heard that they're closing on that building towards the middle of this month. So we just need to touch base with them and see if the project has continued to move forward. Project 410 is an agriculture project for us. It'll happen out at Blue Mountain Station. And that is the one that we are waiting now till May. Jenny and I are gonna go on a little R&D trip over the state line and review some stuff over there. And so we're pretty excited about that. That's that on the hot sheet. Cool. So for events, April 18th is a very busy day. That in the morning, if you're so inclined, there's a Blue Mountain Audubon Society walk that's gonna take place at the end of the levee. And they're gonna walk down there and then they're probably gonna transition out to the Lewis and Clark site. That is also the Blue Mountain Station Greenhouse Grand Opening Day. So go get your plants. And then that is also from 12 to 3 at the Fairgrounds is Tushy Valley Community Showcase. And that is a health and wellness and a how-to and community service. Shakira Collins has been putting that together and we've been supporting her with just backbone support, making that event so people can figure out what's here, what's available to them. We're also doing a drug take back and a shred day as well that day during the event. So we're calling it meds and shreds. So,
It's red.
so the sheriff's department's involved, shred truck's coming, so,
Those shred truck days are popular, aren't they?
oh yeah, I got a box. So, Dayton Days, May 22nd and 23rd. So there will be parade, rodeo, flea market, vendors. This year we've added a special needs rodeo. So for, developmentally disabled or handicapped type, adult or, people,
Kids.
so kids,
Isn't it kids?
yeah. They can be adults.
Oh, can, okay.
So we're excited about that. The car show, of course, is the 19th, the 18th to 19th,
19, 20, 21.
21. It's the same day as the Jasper Mountain Trail Fest. So if you want to go run the Jasper Mountain Trails, you certainly can. We will not be doing that. So built for comfort, not for speed. And then trainings, we have a training coming up. It's a scale up training that we're working with Mason? No.
Mason County EDC.
Mason County EDC. No,
Thurston.
Thurston County. One of those counties over there. We're working with them on a scale up training, financial resilience and opportunity. We had 2 ribbon cuttings. We kicked off the 2021 season on Commissioner Hudson's birthday with a ribbon cutting. The restaurant is open as the Back Nine Diner. And then today I attended with Commissioner Hudson, we attended the equine therapy ribbon cutting at the hospital.
They're cutest little.
Chum Chum, and what's the other one name? Something. A donkey and a horse.
Cuter than.
I haven't been.
And so you take your horse up there and the two.
No, they're already there.
No,
They're already
They're
there.
already there.
yeah, but what are
You
you,
just go up and pet them.
therapy?
You just go up and pet them.
Oh, okay, I thought you were meaning you take your horse up there.
Horse and donkey therapy?
It's not horse therapy, it's human therapy.
Human therapy.
Yeah. Well, when you say equine therapy, I mean,
No, for humans.
how they,
It's like, it's along the lines of how they discovered when they take dogs into nursing homes.
sure.
It's the same concept.
Yeah.
So there's,
They're Monday through Friday and then Saturday, Sunday, they go to Dewey Bell's
Go out
place.
to the pasture.
Oh, really?
Because nobody's there to take care of them.
Oh, wow.
one of the interesting comments that was made at the ribbon cutting today. I don't know, how many people do you think that was in that therapy group?
Oh my
20?
gosh, oh yeah.
Easily 20 to 25. They said the collective of them drive 1,000 miles a day to come work in Dayton.
You believe that?
A collective.
Spokane.
And they said 40% of their patients are not local. So people are coming to Dayton, and I can attest. I mean, I just had an MRI there a couple weeks ago. Because you can get in and quicker and
Yeah.
faster, so.
Yeah.
Well, I have some pets that need therapy.
Yeah.
If that ever comes.
Oh,
people.
I,
That's for people.
working with 2 startups and, getting them connected to Paul. As we have said before, Paul Bowen is a tremendous asset for our community. We are in the final throes of our Choose Columbia County booklet update. I don't know, do you still have it? Can you get to it real quick? And then I'll talk. Well, Jenny's gonna pull that up so we can show you real quick. Last year we ran glass recycling at Blue Mountain Station with Wallbag Recyclers. They chose not to do that this year, so we're coming up with our own plan. So I'm working with Dave Hardy, and we're gonna try to figure out a way to have a glass collection day. And so that it's attended, so people don't just drop crap into it. And so, but,
Yep, I found it.
okay. So this book, it was about, 10 years, 11, maybe 12 years old?
Stuff all over the place, yeah. At least. You can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Now
this
it's
is,
blocked.
this is the last
Oh,
page.
that's the last page, sorry. That happened at the other meeting too. Oh, here we go.
So,
There's the cover.
this falls under our Choose Columbia County brand. And it's kind of like a relocation booklet that we can hand to people when we go to trade shows and stuff like that. And so, just, it talks about elevation, population, weather. We have to update the population Not a lot of difference in the population, other than Dayton population has decreased.
Except I just don't think 2715 was right. I think
Yeah.
we put that, I think that's a typo
So,
when you guys were doing your fixes. I'll have to go look at the old book.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we just talk about all the, the activities that are here, the availabilities. We talk about our education system.
Recreation and then school and then healthy.
This is 100% new. The hospital rebuilt this because 14 years ago, the hospital was in a different position.
Boy, they have added a lot of services.
Yeah.
They really have, yeah.
And then
Business.
this is cultivating opportunity. One of the things that we're pushing is the high-speed broadband internet. It used to say straw pulp manufacturing, so we took that out, and put high-speed internet in its place.
I was just at a art walk that was held downtown a couple weeks ago, and I went in one of the galleries that's not open very often, and the man said, "I just want to thank you for the internet in this town." He had no idea that I had anything to do with it, but he was so thrilled with our internet, so that was exciting to hear.
And then next one is transportation.
Yep.
We just have a real gem with our Columbia County Public Transportation. And then
Last page, yeah, kind of shows where we are on the map.
trips on a table.
Yep.
So it's almost done. I've got a few more pictures to put in there.
And
And
then we'll get
then,
it reprinted.
and other than daily, that's what we're doing. Ever get anything?
No.
You might want to step it up, Shane.
And I don't know if I reported that we were not successful in the second grant from Commerce for the grandstands. We had applied for 50,000 and we were not successful. I don't remember if I reported that to you last time or not.
Can't win them all.
No.
No, but there are some other opportunities.
Yep.
We're trying to find some additional money for that project and it will get started. It has to be done this year. So, because it's a state ag grant
Mhm.
and it's got a timeline. So I think he's gonna wait till after Dayton Days to start
How much more do you think they really need?
about 50,000.
That's it?
So,
It's just not that
And
much.
what's that for?
For
the grandstand?
renovation of the
Fix that
east,
east grandstand that's
East
been
grandstand.
closed.
Yeah.
closed since 2000 and
Yeah.
And last year, the All Wheels Demo Derby was just a disaster because so many people came and there was no place to sit.
Crazy.
And it's good that they came, but then it's bad that there's no place to sit. So if we had that grandstand, it fixes it.
Hmm.
So it's unfortunate it can't be done sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Can't find $50,000 somewhere in county.
I think they'll move forward without it, but if we can help them find it, I think they'd be appreciative. And that's where I'm looking, so. That's all I have. Any questions?
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Any other staff report? Tracy? I gotta put you on the spot once. in a
So
while.
much.
I
He
know.
doesn't wanna talk about it, so. We just talk and talk and talk and don't give her any of the glory. Okay,
Tracy keeps
she
us.
does a lot.
Is there any board reports that you wanna add to, Jenny?
I don't think, I was just looking through it to see, the facade grant, application is out for the task force. I just don't think that any of those other ones, I have anything I need to report, so
Okay.
I think we're good.
All right. Any other business? I wanna make a comment. I know that we were bombarded last meeting with a proposal on the trail. And so I just wanna express my personal opinion here for just a second. That I believe that the bicycle group and maybe the chamber should be out there looking if there's community support for that they are the generator of that. And when we review it during our comp plan, that they would then bring that information. And anyone else that's supposed to do the same thing. That we're not gonna discuss at every meeting. We're gonna look at it because it's part of our comp plan, right? And that's the time to come and show your support or show your non-support. And then the three of us can weigh that. And I don't know that and I say we, but I wasn't involved, the port has gone through this before. You were there, Johnny, and you guys were here. But I don't think it's, appropriate for us to spend a huge amount of time on that, if there isn't community support for that.
So, and I think that, because it was reported two different ways, the Waitsburg Times did a really nice job on the article. Belinda was really representing,
Bicycle.
from the, well, it was from the town hall about with trails, and that's really where it came from. And so there's a group that has gotten together, and anyway, he wasn't gonna be here, but Drake came in a little bit late and Belinda had already started. So there is a group that's a committee
Right.
that came from that is working on that. So as far as community support, that's where that's coming from. So that's where it came to us, which I think those of us that have been around long enough know that that's the 140 some years ago, 43 years ago, the committees that were formed on that ended up with the Liberty Theater and the courthouse and the depot and Flower Mill Park and Main Street and whatever. I mean, so a lot of good comes out of those. And this, the town hall, there are several, the Butterfly Project that's going on now. There's a sports complex amphitheater committee that's part of that. I mean, there's just several, and this is one of those.
Yeah.
And so it was an idea, and again, it comes up every year in the sets too.
Yeah.
So
I just want to make clear what my thoughts were, is I think that those groups need to, if they're that interested, they need to take the ball and run with it and bring that information back with us, to us.
I'm just trying to help them out. What do you mean as far as information
Well,
for them to bring back to us?
Are there businesses that are interested? You
Oh.
said today, but
Yeah,
Drake,
he was part of that.
and, you know, there's other businesses. Is the city in support of it? Is the county in support of it? Are there other groups that are in support of it? Or, and I know there are groups that are against it. I think that we want to hear from them. I'm not talking about a public hearing to say yes or no. I'm talking about if there's no support for it, if it's just a very small group, then we shouldn't spend a huge amount of time on it. If there's more against it than there are for it, then why spend our time? Is, I guess, my point. But we work for the public.
I'm a little bit confused. I'm only because of the way it was presented to us, because it was a project that reviving the project that we had was the way it was proposed to us.
Right.
And I guess we had talked about it briefly at that meeting. If not, we wanted to pick it up, or whether we didn't, but we should let that committee know
Right.
that we are.
Well, I think that's up to them to come to us to say the community is in favor of it.
Well, my stance is already on record, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that everybody knows where I'm at with it.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying it. I think they should run with it if that's what their excitement, and that they should go and seek to see if there's support within the community for it. And then bring that information to us as a port commission, whether we continue to keep it in our comp plan and our capital facilities plan to fund it. And that way, if there's enough support, we can go seek funding for it. If there's not support for it, then we're wasting our time.
Agreed.
Okay, I just want to make myself clear on what had gone on last meeting, because I know I asked questions, and I asked whether it was in the comp plan still. I just want to make sure our community is supporting what we're doing. We're not just headed out somewhere they don't support us.
It also sounded like you were trying to give a time frame for when to express that support, as opposed to
Right.
coming to each meeting to
Meeting.
talk about
Yeah.
the project.
There's no reason to show up every meeting and talk about it if we aren't involved in updating our comp plan at that section. That's the appropriate time to come and say you support or you don't support. And then we have to go through the whole same process. If we believe there's community support for it, then we have to go and have a public meeting again, right? Or a public meeting.
No, we have to have a public meeting, we have to have a public hearing for our comp plan.
Right, but
Yeah.
that would be the time where it's yes or no, it's in our comp plan or it's not, right?
True, yeah, whether or not you have put it in there or
Right.
not, yeah, mhm,
So,
right,
so there's a
or putting, or, yeah,
I'm just trying to say there is a process. I, and I don't want it, I just don't want 10 people here every night saying we are against it before, we're mad at you because you're even bringing it up. It's part of our comp plan. It's already there. We're gonna be updating that, whether we keep it in or take it out,
So,
should be decided.
so Jenny, you had kind of a tentative schedule.
mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's in there.
What meeting would you say is likely to be the appropriate?
Well, I think it's in the recreation section, but I'm not positive, so let me check.
So then you can ask your staff to be clear in advertising that on this day, we expect to have a conversation about.
Conversation.
So that's the day to come with your
Your business.
information, your
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, recreation has Lions Ferry Marina, continue design and engineering of the Tushy Valley Trail with an eye towards construction. And then the next one is about the Cooperative Parks Master Plan, and then the Rock Hill Trail, maintaining that, taking care of it. So, yeah,
So in
recreation.
your tentative schedule, when is the recreation?
Oh, I had put it under June at the marina. I was thinking marina, so.
Okay.
I don't know
Well,
if that's the best
maybe-
one or not.
maybe we can break it in two pieces.
Yeah. There it is. I had economic development and no, that's July. Intent and then recreation in June is what I had written down. So, but that's totally up to you guys. We can change those around. All up to you.
Well, if we want public input, that's probably not the best venue for it.
True, because they'd have to drive out of town. Yeah.
Although it's
well,
bigger, it's a bigger
It is
space.
bigger space.
This may be. bigger.
This may be bigger, yeah.
By June.
Yeah. So maybe we want to break that piece out of recreation and put it at a later date.
Okay, or we could do something else at the marina, or we could just talk about the marina there, and we could talk about economic development or real estate while we're out there instead. We could do that. Put.
Yeah.
Put recreation in July.
Anyway.
We don't have to do recreation out there. It just, in my little brain, it all fit together, so.
I just want,
We'll do it differently.
that I'm hoping our community is involved in these decisions, and that if there's a group out there that is excited about this, they put their efforts in to showing there is community support. If there's not, then let's not spin our wheels. Anyway, I don't want to be a dead horse. Any other comments from any commissioners, staff? Okay, we have 1 minute of public comment. And we have nobody in the room, so is anybody online want to say their piece for a minute? Anybody online? Hearing none, we'll call this meeting adjourned.
Okay.
Leave the room.
I'm gonna make that over too.